This is one of the most recognized stars in Hollywood, Natalie Wood. She was born the 20th day of July in 1938 in San Francisco. She was born to Russian immigrant parents who taught her to speak fluent Russian. While the family was living in Santa Rosa, Natalie was noticed by a film crew while filming in the downtown Santa Rosa area. Her mother became infatuated and was determined that Natalie would become a movie star. She even moved the family to Los Angeles. And it must have worked because Natalie appeared in her first movie role at the age of 4. She played in 56 pictures in her whole entire career. One of the most famous was Splendor in the Grass with Warren Beatty. And then she played with a Rebel Without a Cause with James Dean. She was one of the few child stars that was actually able to continue acting all through her adult life. She was married twice. First to Robert Wagner in 1957, and some say it was a studio-arranged marriage. That lasted until 1962. Then she married producer Richard Gearson in 1969, and they divorced in 1972. They had one daughter, Natasha Gearson, born in 1970. And in 1973, she remarried Robert Wagner, and they remained married until her death in 1981. They had one daughter, Courtney Wagner. She was born in 1974. While making her last film, Brainstorm, with Christopher Walken, she invited Walken to spend the weekend on their yacht at Santa Catalina Island off of the California coast with her and her husband Robert Wagner. Authorities say that on the night of November the 28th, 1981, Robert Wagner, Natalie Wood, and Christopher Walken ate dinner at the Doug's Harbor Reef restaurant in Santa Catalina before returning to their 60-foot yacht, the Splendor, where evidently they continued their drinking. The waitress at the restaurant said that they were drinking heavy and were boisterous. Now, friends say that Wagner and Wood almost always ended their drinking episodes with a row. This was no exception, except this time a third party, Christopher Walken, was there. It's been reported that Wagner did not want to entertain Walken that weekend, and that may be what started the argument. Natalie Wood's body was found by authorities on the morning of the 29th around 8 a.m. in the morning, not far from the rubber dinghy that had washed up on shore. For years it was believed that after an argument between Wagner and Wood, she stormed out and fell in the water at some point and drowned. However, of late, the boat captain, Dennis Darvin, who changed his story after some 30 years, has caused the authorities to reopen the investigation. Dennis Darvin stated that when the argument started, Walken went to his cabin refusing to get involved in the argument between a man and his wife. Darvin also stated that a physical fight between Wagner and Wood he could hear from top deck. And he also says that he heard Wagner tell Wood to get off of his boat. This crime and this case is still unsolved and is still under investigation. Natalie Woods' star is on the Walk of Fame. It's located on the south side of the 700 block of Hollywood Boulevard. Natalie is buried at Pierce Brothers Westwood Memorial Park in Los Angeles. Natalie Wood was 43 years old. I have finally come to the conclusion that without the cooperation of Robert Wagner, Christopher Walken, or Dennis Darvin, it would be almost impossible to know what the argument started about. And we still don't know how Natalie Wood ended up in the water that night. We don't know if foul play was involved or if she simply fell while under the influence of alcohol, a seasick medicine, or painkillers that were found in her system. What we do know is that her cry for help went unheeded, not only from the 3 grown men on the Splendor, but also from other boaters that were close by.